once he gets involved in something, he gets involved. It doesn't go part-time. And I saw in him his commitment, absolute commitment to Beaufort Memorial Hospital. He used to go a month and a half at a time to sail down to the Bahamas, stay down there, do some dives down there and come back. But when he became chair, he really, for those 6 years, in fact, he looked at selling his boat because he just didn't have time.
He has a unique way of bringing out the best in people at a meeting, I think. He solicits people's opinions, doesn't cause them to hesitate to say anything, encourages as much information to come to the table as possible.
I think when you bring people into a decision-making process, you create leaders, because people that are involved feel a ownership of the decision. That then allows the people to become involved and become leaders and become people that go out and further help the hospital be recognized for the assets that it has. So I think he's done it in a number of different venues.
He worked as a chairman and CEO in multiple organizations, and certainly was in very high leadership as well in multinational organizations. I think, number one, that gave him the perspective of what's happening in medicine and allowed him to be very flexible and, or shall I say, agile in trying to keep Beaufort Memorial ahead of what's happening. I think that gave him a lot of understanding. But also, it allowed him to anticipate problems, and the companies that he was with are very successful companies, and I think he brought some of that philosophy to Beaufort Memorial in terms of wanting to keep us as successful as well. And one of the things that's very important about what he's done is he's kept Beaufort Memorial ahead of the curve when it comes to some of the healthcare changes that are happening.
We've had a lot of changes, a lot of investments in equipment, facilities, growth in our physician practices, recruiting additional doctors to the community. But a critical part of that, which doesn't get recognized by so many people, was a decision by the board to also focus on the infrastructure of the hospital that in a time of an emergency would pay dividends to the community. We enhanced our emergency generators, enhanced our fuel supply, so we can now run almost 7 days without anybody helping us from the outside. Leveraging his knowledge of the healthcare business world, where he worked with Pfizer, leveraging his knowledge of the appliances, for lack of a better word, where he used to sell and would work with doctors in operating rooms and relate with them. He never lost that connectivity to the clinical side of the business, while he also understood the financial side of the business.
Why I was very interested in being on the board is he was interested in physician perspectives for the hospital, for the community, and he knew that he needed to learn more, and he has, since his first time on the board, I'm pretty sure every physician in the community, or many of them, would call him a friend first and an ally, and feel very comfortable helping, discussing with him topics. And so he's really grown and blossomed into a physician advocate.
Whenever there has been an issue that has affected Beaufort Memorial, particularly as it might affect the community, Mr. Schulze has made a point of getting out to the broader community, be able to discuss the board's and Beaufort Memorial's approach to those particular problems.
Jerry's has a unique combination of knowledge, of experience, and commitment that gave him the ability to accept and excel in the role as board chairman.
As a board member who has worked with Jerry for 8 years, and as a physician in private practice, trying to juggle private practice and commitment to the board and time required to the board, there have been times when I've struggled with trying to continue to be on the board and run a private practice. And I look at Jerry and say, Jerry, I just don't know if I can do it anymore. And he says, Pat, we have to have you here. You're a gadfly. You keep things going. I love your perspective. So thank you, Jerry. You've kept me in this for the long haul. I think I'll be doing 12 years like you have done.